Life, death, love, and healing. That is the message for April 2024. So, welcome everyone to this April video. I'm Dr. Peyton Tantz, and I am excited to bring through this message today. This is take 2 for the April video for anyone who happened to see the first version. Apparently I needed another night of sleep to feel like I think I was still processing a lot. I sort of used that video to help me integrate the message and my own process to show up here today, but it didn't quite feel like it was the right version to present fully. So here we are, take 2. So the message this month is really situated within the context of this moment in time, in this linear timeline. At the beginning of April, leading up into this solar eclipse that we have coming up on Monday, the 8th. And also leading us into, I believe, this whole eclipse portal is really also a crescendo point leading into the rest of April. We have another big conjunction, powerful conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus, which is already in the field. That's also going to be major and exact on the 20th. So anyway, the point being that, it really strikes me that we're in a very potent time in the timeline, on the earth, in this process of, healing, awakening, creating the new world, facing the situation, which is quite potent, and everything just feels to be quite intensified at the moment. And that, it really feels to me, and others I think are also really speaking about this, that this year is really a pivotal year. And we can see that we've already been in this heightened phase of transformation, especially since 2020, but also since, people look at a wider window, but whatever kind of window we look at least the last 4 years, it's been more evident. The intensity, the intensification of everything, of our life experience on this planet, and all the things that are happening, and the awakening that people are having to what's going on this planet, the awakening of consciousness to ourselves, to becoming more conscious of ourselves. It's all connected, right? So our individual awakening and the collective awakening planetarily is all really one and the same process. So point being is that this message is very much seated in this context of this moment, with the understanding that this is a really powerful gateway that we are in this year, and I believe this month in April. Things are coming to a crescendo, and a threshold is being crossed, and we're already in that threshold, it feels like now. But I believe this eclipse coming up, like I said, other alignments coming this month, that this is really going to be a quickening of sorts, a tipping point into faster and more dramatic changes in this process. And so, the message is really one of inspiration, sort of addressing some things here, addressing fear, addressing death, addressing the human, the burden on the human heart that we're all feeling just being in this time, whatever our unique experience is. Addressing that, the human body, the human fear, the human nervous system and calling us into our strength, our resiliency, our courage, our spiritual warriorship. So that's the intention here, is to be a vessel of inspiration, a message of inspiration, to help us root into a template, riding through and plugging into a template through the heart, for this eclipse portal that we are already in the middle of, in the midst of, but it's going, we're going into it. So that's my intention. So before I dive in, I do want to introduce myself in case anybody is new to me and my work. I'm Dr. Peyton Tance, and I'm an integrative psychologist, psychotherapist, and healer. And my work is about integrating Western depth psychology, spiritual awakening, particularly non-dual, but the spirituality that I teach and experience is universal. It's the direct path, it's the spiritual reality that we all have access to knowing and awakening to directly, okay? So spiritual awakening, psychology, and then quantum physics and neuroscience. And I bring all of those together into a unified, coherent paradigm of teachings that I call New Paradigm Psychology. And that this work is all about creating a bridge for the new world, for creating the new paradigm. And this body of knowledge that has been my life's work to pull together within myself, and then I'm offering through the various things I do, is really, my offering into the field of this process to help us come back into more of a state of wholeness in terms of our knowledge systems, right? In terms of our relationship with all that is. Being the knowledge base that's integrated into the fabric of reality from a fragmented state, which is what we've been in. Okay, so the message. This is very much, rooted in some of my own journey over the last week in particular. And, just my own journey being a microcosm of the macro that we're all experiencing in our own unique way. But one of the things is that there were a series of deaths, like now it's 6. Yesterday it was 5, now it's 6. 6 deaths that I've been either somebody directly in my own field or one person removed. So somebody that I know directly, that somebody that they know, a family, friend, etc., that they know. So it's not like just random people that I heard on, Facebook or whatever. It's people in my sphere one way or another directly. 6 deaths, coming into my field within a very short period of time, and a handful, most of them being like sudden, unexpected deaths, and different reasons or different explanations, but just sudden and shocking, and particularly one that was in the community here in Sedona that was very someone that I wasn't super personally close with, but was close enough, and someone that I considered a friend and part of my spiritual community here. And it really rocked me to the core and kind of just catapulted this process of really just my own existential reflection on the state of things. And not that death is a scary thing in and of itself, and there's always a way to look at it from the wider perspective and understand that life is eternal ultimately, and it's okay. It's not that it threatens my own sense of security and rootedness in a resilient position in life. But having this number of deaths arriving all in this short period of time, it sort of opened something up in me as a reflection and becoming like hyper conscious of just how intense this time is. There's something big happening here, right? And we can look at the deaths and, why are there so many deaths happening? I mean, I think there's lots of different ways to look at that and reasons and a whole conversation around that. I don't think it's one thing or another. The point being that the fact that this is happening is also in the context of all kinds of intense situations. From everything from just the whole geopolitical socio landscape in the world, all kinds of just different situations playing out that are very intense, that are all, symptoms of a larger process of death of the old and birth of the new, ultimately, right? We're in the cocoon, like the caterpillar birthing into a butterfly. We're in that stage where it's just like liquefied. It's like the cells are just all, it's just chaos, and it's just like liquefaction and confusion, and everything's just like in metamorphosis. And it feels like that's very much where we are in this process. And of course, that's just a metaphor for the collective, but we're all in that metamorphosis within ourselves uniquely. So that's just, I hope this is making sense. I'm trying to kind of address, kind of just speak and presence the moment that we're in, and the level of intensity that we're facing in life, and the level of uncertainty, the level of, destruction and devastation that we're seeing playing out in the world, if we're paying attention, right, if we're awake. It's just really profound, like how much death, how much destruction, how much the old system, the old status quo is just, it's crumbling, and it is very uncertain, and it's also getting into the heart of this message. There's good reasons to be afraid, And so coming upon this eclipse, that's one of the things that's really also present in my field, and I've been going through my own journey with it, is fear, And I think that the energetic of an eclipse, and especially this total solar eclipse, and it's going through the United States, which is, where I am, where most of the people that are listening are. But it's a very powerful energy of death and rebirth and recalibration. It's a portal, really, of resetting everything, okay? And so, there's a lot of different things that have been spoken of, just looking at what is the meaning of this eclipse, what's going to happen. There's a lot of fear out there being projected. There's also a lot of, hope and positivity. And so my hope here is just in the next few minutes, I want to just call out the fear and just recognize, yes, there are things that we are rightfully afraid of, in terms of the things we could lose, or the type of chaos, the type of disorder that can manifest if certain things were to happen, in terms of just like the fabric, like the internet going down, or blackout, or any other kind of, major disruption. So we have good reasons to be afraid on a human level. And that's okay. I think we can name that and acknowledge, it's actually okay. It's part of being human. Life is wired to survive. And then if we die, we die. Okay. And we're okay. But the point is that as long as we're alive, that's okay to have some fear. It's healthy. But let's just acknowledge the fear and understand that it's a natural part of this process, and it's informative. Like, I think it's smart to prepare, to have things prepared for chaos and disorder as an individual, and as communities. But let's be prepared and be awake to what might happen and continue to move forward. And when we can acknowledge the fear and face the fear, then it doesn't have control over us. It's not taking away our power and our sovereignty. And that's really what I want to emphasize here, okay? So yes, like, all the number of things that can happen, that even there could be like agendas to utilize this portal in a negative way, or to, whatever, like a false flag event or something like that. That absolutely could be happening. But let's really recalibrate ourselves of like, okay, yeah, like a lot of bad stuff is happening already, and like more bad stuff and more attempts at, creating chaos and, crisis and to a certain agenda. Okay, like more of that probably will be happening too. We can just accept that, but like really align with ourselves as the courageous hearted spiritual warriors that we are, right? That's what we're here to do. And so, a lot of this information that's in the field about the fear-based things, let's just call that out and clear it out right now. And let's just remember who we are, why we're here, and remember the power that we have to make a difference, the power that we are, okay? And that where we are putting our attention right now has the power to make a big difference in the outcome, and to neutralize any other agendas in the quantum field that are being attempted. So this is like a call, like all hands on deck, okay? And I'm calling us into, okay, our heart, into softening, into our own healing process in ourselves, in our own unique beauty and wisdom and strength and courage. And so the invitation here, and the template that I'm inviting us into, if this resonates, is to go into this eclipse portal with an open heart, laying down the swords of the fight or flight and the fear, and really just going within and firing up that inner lion-hearted strength, just in your field, just in yourself. There's nothing that has to be done or activated or whatever. We already are who and what we are. And just by being in love, being in and cultivating the love in our hearts for life, and the love and attention that we need for our own healing. This eclipse also has a powerful signature with Chiron being conjunct. So the sun and the moon are in a conjunction. That means they're in the energy of conception, the seed of life. And Chiron, which is the wounded healer archetype, is a planetary body. It's not one of the main planets, but I believe it's an asteroid or something. It's a significant archetypal energy. Not necessarily a planet. I think it's an asteroid. Anyway, Chiron, the sun, and the moon are all directly connected and aligned in a perfect conjunction. So it's like a package. So all three are together with this eclipse going on. And so the energy of Chiron is healing, okay? Chiron is the wounded healer who has a core wound, the wounded warrior, and that heals themselves, and that becomes a healer through healing ourselves. So it's the sovereign individual healing and process of really claiming our own divinity, our own power to heal ourselves. And we get help, of course, from life. It's not like we're doing it all alone, but ultimately healing, any real healing is we are healing ourselves ultimately. So this is a powerful opportunity for healing. And I want to invite that this is a healing opportunity and a portal for powerful personal healing and also planetary healing, okay? But I want to emphasize this personal, going into the heart, loving ourselves, turning inward, softening into the beautiful light that we are. And whatever we do to help us get into that state now, just let the fear go. It's time to show up, to rise, to get into our centers, and to know that we are the power that makes a difference here. And it's a big difference. So we don't realize how powerful this is. And then so let's just clear out all the stuff. We know stuff might go down, but we know that the power is within us actually to influence the outcome positively. Okay? So I'll leave it here for now. I wish you much love, and I am doing my event on Monday night, Planetary Upshift Meditation. Please join us. It's a perfect opportunity. You can join for free on the live stream, bring your own cacao, and we will be doing our sacred alchemy ceremony, which is all about everything I just said. So it's a great opportunity. I'll put the link in the description of this video. And just sending everyone a lot of love, peace, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.